If you were given two options, the first one was to give you a complete house. The other option would be to give you the equivalent of the money that built the house. What would you choose? What's keeping you poor is your mindset, nothing else. And in today's video, we'd like to look at some of those mindsets that are holding us back from accumulating wealth. One of the mindsets keeping us poor is the belief that earning more money is a sign of success. That is far from the truth, because we have seen that the more income one gets, the more their lifestyle is inflated. If you earn 1 million shillings today and you stay in a house of 300,000 shillings, if you were to earn 2 million shillings, the probability that you'll move to a house of 1 million is high. So earning more money is not necessarily a sign of success. But what is using the money you have at the moment to increase your gap between your income and your expenditure. The other mindset that is keeping us poor is the belief that only the rich can invest. That is not true. The principle behind investing is start as early as you can. Be consistent with however little you have to invest. This is where the power of the compound effect comes into place. Like you can see, is little invested over time becomes so much more than if the initial step to invest did not happen at all. The other misconception we have about wealth is that we do not need insurance. If you have a family, the best gift you can ever give your family is by having life insurance. It gives you peace of mind, but also the assurance of knowing in the event that something happened to you, your family would be well taken care of. We've seen incidences where someone died and the family is not mourning because of their demise, but rather of what they have to take on, because there was a lack of preparation. So insurance is not for the wealthy, but it's for everyone, as long as you have the goodwill to ensure that when you transition to the next life, your people are well taken care of. It could be that the fees of your children have been taken care of. It could be that you have left wealth accumulated through your insurance that they can be able to start from when you are gone. Another common misconception is that building or buying a house is better than renting. It's not necessarily bad, but the question is, at what point should one be able to build? For how long can one utilize the benefits of renting? Because one, when you build a house for the sole purpose of accommodation, for the sole purpose of you sleeping in it, that is capital you have tied. Research shows that the return of investment in Uganda in real estate is 4 to 7%. If you compare that to the return on investment on unit trusts, which is 11%, you see that someone who chose to invest the same amount of money in a unit trust in the long run will get a higher rate of return than one who chose to build a residential property. I'm not saying that we should not have goals to build residential property. What I'm alluding to is it would be better to have your investments over time finance your residential property. The other misconception we have about wealth is that saving is the same as investment. Many people would rather have their money in the banks than have it invested elsewhere. A fixed deposit in a bank will give you a yield of 6% per annum. Compare it to the inflation rate. You realize that actually by having your money in the bank, it is losing value, as opposed to if it had been invested, even in as simple as low-cost funds like the unit trust. So the 6% per annum versus the 11% per annum. Over time, you realize that one who chose to invest will accumulate more wealth than he who chose to save. This is my favorite. Thinking that retirement planning is not necessary until one is 40. That is a lie that has been sold to all of us. The moment you start earning an income, even as a student, I would advise that you think about retirement. Retirement is simply that point in life where you don't need to actively work for money. You have accumulated your dividends, you have accumulated your assets to a point where the interest combined from your investments can sustain your life. We have seen our parents, we have seen our relatives who worked and by the point of retirement could not afford to leave the government houses they were in. Reason being, they never thought of that time when they will not be in position to work anymore. In order to overcome these mindsets, all you have to do is, number one, start investing as early as you can. Number two, have a plan for retirement. When do you plan to retire? And what will you do during that period of retirement? Number three, have an insurance policy, especially if you have a family. It not only gives you a peace of mind, but it also ensures that your loved ones are well taken care of in the event of death or permanent disability. Number four, for now, it's okay to rent. There are many benefits of renting that we shall talk about in a separate video. And lastly, you don't need to earn a lot of money in order to feel successful. What you need to do is manage what you have at the moment by one, increasing it or reducing your expenses. The goal should always be to widen your gap between your income and your expenses. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please consider doing so, because it helps us reach more people that need this same information.